everybody, glad to have you with me today. If you've gotten your latest Ulta ad, you may know that the 21 Days of Beauty event is upon us, and I always like to get on here and share my picks during this time. And as we go day by day through this ad, I mean, if I don't have anything to say about something, I won't, but I'm gonna give the things that I know I love, also the things that I want, and the things that I've had experience with that I don't like that I would skip. And in addition to the daily deals, there are also the hot buys, which I'll mention too, and the online only deals that are happening each day. So I don't know how much you guys keep up with this sale year to year, but it's some really good discounts. It's like 50% off a lot of great high-end products. And as I look at the roundup of things that ended up being top picks for me, I think there are a lot of good basics this year, and I feel like I came away having more things to talk about than usual. I am also wearing all of my picks today, so you can see them on. Now the lip color, kind of a big statement of this look, that is not anything that's part of the sale. It's actually, I'm playing around with the Too Faced Tutti Frutti collection, and this is Ruby Ripe. It's like a creamy, very opaque sort of lacquer style liquid lipstick, and there's a little shimmer in it, and I absolutely love this tone. So anyways, let's start on September 4th. We've got the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Liquid. It's gonna be $20.50 each, and it's regularly $41. And this is what the full size looks like, y'all. Like, it's a lot of product. I have this in the shade Champagne Pop, and I am wearing that as a highlight today. And I have numerous smaller sizes in different shades, and it's without a doubt one of my favorite liquid highlighter formulas. It is so incredibly sneaky. It does not look like anything on your skin. You just end up radiating this glow that's so beautiful. I like to pump out just the tiniest bit, which it can be a little hard to pace yourself, because when you first get this, if you've never used it, you'll probably pump out way too much, but just get a little bit on your hand, and then I like to just dab into that with a synthetic brush and sort of buff it right onto the cheeks. It does not leave behind anything that feels tacky. It's just a really beautiful glow that's all in all more subtle, I think, than the pressed powder option of these highlights from Becca. So I really wanted to point this out as a favorite. I love Opal. I love the white kind of pearly shade. The Champagne Pop is beautiful as well, but I still think $20.50 is sort of significant, you know, for this product. You do get a lot. It may take you a long time to use it up. I've still got minis of this product that I've definitely not come close to using up yet. So you may also take this mention as a little heads up, like keep your eyes out for maybe some holiday sets where they've got some small options of these, because usually there's something like that that comes out around the holidays, and that might be an even better bargain than this sale, but I'm just throwing it out there. Okay, here's something I wouldn't really recommend. It's the following day, September 5th. Hoola and Hoola Light are gonna be $15 instead of $30. There's nothing really much wrong with Hoola. I've got them here in this Complexionista palette, but Hoola Light, if you're my skin tone, it's basically like a skin tone match powder. Now, when I critiqued this palette in a past video, I know there were some people who came out of the woodwork saying like, Hoola Light is my perfect contour. So maybe if you are like Nicole Kidman, maybe that does act like a bit of something on your skin. It just doesn't show up at all on me. And so this is just my little warning to you. If you're thinking about trying it and you're my skin tone or any deeper than me, it's not gonna be a contour. Hoola, however, I do think is a quality bronzer product, and $15 for a full size I think is a good deal on that. But that's just my little public service announcement about Hoola Light, FYI, if you haven't tried it. September 6th, there is a deal on the Beauty Blender Solid Cleanser. It's gonna be half off. It's regularly $16. It's gonna be $8. And I am going to get that because I think that is a really effective way to clean sponges. I love the way the Solid Beauty Blender cleans all my sponges. I have tried the liquid, did not think it performed as effective of a job for me. Maybe there's some tips and tricks to using that and making it work better, but the Solid just easily works on all my sponges. So I will definitely be getting another one of those. My current one in my bathroom is like a tiny little disc, like thinner than a quarter. It's barely hanging on. I need some more. September 9th, let's talk about a recommendation here from Bare Minerals. They have their Mineral Veil Finishing Powders, so a lot of different varieties of them, from $11 to $13.50, and they're usually $23 to $27. And the one that I've been liking the best is actually the Hydrating Mineral Veil. I set my makeup with that today. It is the finest powder ever, and it looks so beautiful topping off your Bare Minerals look. If you're into that kind of thing, or you can just put it like I did today on top of a different kind of foundation. I'm wearing the Do You foundation from Too Faced, also part of that Tutti Frutti line. I've redone a whole little part of my storage I need to show you guys for my Bare Minerals specifically, because I like keeping it all together. But Bare Minerals has just been a real rediscovered brand to me in the past few months. And the Mineral Veil is a great way to top off your look. It really is weightless, but this hydrating version, I mean, your skin just looks so good when you've got it on, and it's the finest, most undetectable powder. So I'm a big fan of that, but if you like the traditional mineral veil, I think there might be like a brightening version or something like that. You can check it out on the website. There are different options. I really like the hydrating. Shelby Wilson likes the hydrating, which says even more, so there you go. On the 11th, I saw something that I think I want to get. It's the Buxom Plump Line lip liners. They're gonna be only $9. They're regularly $18, and I've never tried these before, but they look like kind of a jumbo pencil. Am I right on that? Anybody who's tried them? Steer me in the direction I should go. Are there certain shades you love? Are these even any good? I don't know. I'm intrigued. I'd like to try them. I've liked so many different lip products I've tried from Buxom. I think it's a really overall kind of underrated brand, so I want to get those. Too Faced Lip Injection Extreme is going to be $14 down from $28. Yet another public service announcement here. I don't like that product. I think it's extremely stingy and it's on the very extreme end of lip plumpers, and I'm not a big fan of that. Some of you guys out there might love it. I do not. September 13th though, the Smashbox Photo Finish Minimize Pores primer is going to be $19.50. It's regularly $39. When I see things marked down and they're still nearly 20 bucks, it kind of makes me think, is that really that great of a deal? I do love this primer though. It's kind of like a fluffy primer. It reminds me a little bit of Benefit Professional, but it's very smoothing and it's a little creamier than that. Something about the way it just works into the skin. It melts in a bit more creamy style. However, I do think there are more affordable options. I think this brings it up in the conversation because this is the featured thing in the sale. But if you've not tried the Catrice Prime and Fine in a little tub, it's a really similar effect to this on the skin, I think. But does this product even out my skin's texture? Yes. Do I think it in turn helps the staying power of everything? I do notice that as well. So I think it's one of the better primers that Smashbox has, actually, this particular version. I'm surprised my eyes don't look a lot puffier because I cried throughout nearly a whole entire episode of Dawson's Creek last night. You got the episode where they're graduating and the one after that, and it's significant. It's a lot to take in. Bub and I were both crying. September 15th, we got a couple things happening. Tarte Lights Camera Lashes Mascara. A really nice mascara is kind of approaching drugstore price range in this sale because it's going to be $11 instead of $23. And it's the same deal for their Tarteist Lash Paint Mascara if you're a fan of either of those. I really love Lights Camera Lashes. I love the brush. I like what it does for my lashes. I'm pretty sure I have a backup of that mascara in my stash currently, so I don't need to purchase it in this sale. And I do have some mascaras currently that I must get through before I bust into anything new, but just letting you know that's in there. And also on that same day, the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder is going to be $17.50 instead of $35. I like this powder. I don't like it better than Laura Mercier. But if I'm going to be traveling and I need a powder that I may potentially want to bake with or just use as setting powder all over my face, this is the one I take because this has the nice little capping mechanism here that stays over the sifter so stuff isn't getting everywhere. And so I like that feature, and this will always be the one I toss in my bag for that reason, although I'll use it and think, gosh, it's not quite as great as Laura Mercier's. The Laura Mercier, I've found time and time again, I feel like I can use less product there. When I put it on, if I'm baking with it, if I'm simply just lightly setting my under eye, for whatever reason, there is like 15% magic in that product. It's like this combo of mattifying and perfecting, and I just don't feel like I need a lot. And so it's not really unique to the Cover FX to feel like, yeah, I need to load on a little bit more to get that same kind of effect. It's just the truth of this product for me. I find it to be very travel friendly, but I just don't like it as well as Laura. Oh, September 16th. I think a lot of people are gonna be talking about this. The chocolate bar palette from Too Faced, the original chocolate bar, is going to be $24.50. It's regularly $49. If you've been wanting to try this for a long time, I think the timing is right on September 16th. I love this palette. I got a very early one before there were even names like printed on the thing, but I've always thought of this as the ultimate brown lovers palette because it's like so many variations on brown, but with some supporting cast member shades that make it pretty versatile, I think. Even for being such a neutral palette that's not super warm, if all the really warm stuff turns you off, you might look to this. You may feel like you have a little bit of just a gently warm corner over here with these shades, but overall it's very neutral to cool, I think, in this palette. And I am wearing this today. I've got this shade here in my crease. I've got a combo of these also in my lid and crease. This one's a little bit kind of brownish plum, a beautiful, really rich burgundy in here. This color right down here is so pretty or as an inner corner highlight, but I also love that as a face highlight. You've got a really, really dark green that's almost a little too deep and dark to show up super green, but you can do a little layering maybe with the gold in this palette to bring out a little bit of that. But I wouldn't look to this as a real colorful palette. I'd look to this if I generally love browns and want some nice things to coordinate and work in with that color scheme. But it's great quality. It's a classic palette, and if you've never tried it, I mean, getting it half off I think is a great deal. September 22nd, listen up, a great deal on the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. Different packaging than this, it's the black packaging, but it's gonna be $16 instead of $32. This is my go-to facial setting mist when I feel like my makeup really must be in it for the long haul. This would be the ultimate setting spray to improve staying power, and I feel like it actually does work. See what I mean from this roundup, like talking about basics, you know, the Urban Decay All Nighter, that's kind of a basic, a Bare Minerals Mineral Veil, a very basic classic palette in the Too Faced Chocolate Bar, the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector, a lot of like real good mainstays I feel like in this lineup. But also on that day is something I want to try. It's another thing from Buxom. It's called the Vava Plump Shiny Liquid Lipstick. Never tried them. I feel like I've heard very little about them, so I'm intrigued. Between that and then the Plump Line lip liners, those are a couple of Buxom things I'm wanting to try. Now the Hot Buys class, if we can all turn our page and go to the Hot Buys. These are things that are up to 40% off every day of the event. So the sooner you can cash in on these, I guess the better, because they may sell out. There were really just two things that stood out to me big time. One was the Smashbox Step-by-Step Contour Kit, also the Spotlight palettes, but my main focus here is the contour kit. It's gonna be $21. It's normally $35, and it does come with a little brush too. But this would be the most basic contouring kit I think you can get. It's got your cool contour, a bronzer type shade, and this really buttery kind of not too yellow, but just kind of creamy vanilla type color. They are beautifully textured powders. My love for this palette actually goes back years, and I think it's one of the better things Smashbox has created in their line. It's a no frills palette. I find myself not usually just using one or the other of these, but I'll use both, and I'll kind of mix them together and use that as my contour, as a light bit of bronze, and then a little bit of this light shade just dabbed on the under eye is actually quite flattering. Again, that's a matte highlighter shade in that palette, no shimmer. And then I feel like I give these a shout out every time they're part of any kind of deal, but the Mally Evercolor Shadow Sticks, they're gonna be $15 each. They are available in matte and shimmer, and I just think they're a tremendous shadow stick if you need a quick like swipe of something on the lid. You want the most low maintenance eye possible that will actually last and set and not give you any trouble. I think these are great. I'm holding it here in the shade called Bliss. There are some gorgeous shimmery shades in this line, and see how that catches the light so full on, and then when it's not in direct light it looks a bit more taupey. That's a reason why you can create a full look out of one of these shades, because you can really get it there on the lid, blend it into your crease even with your finger or a synthetic brush like Real Techniques, and you can really truly have your full look in one stick. So I love that. $15 is a great deal on that, normally $25. And that is my story on this year's 21 Days of Beauty sale. I will have everything mentioned linked below if you want to get more details, and I'll also link to the sale itself so you can get to the right portion of Ulta's website to see all the different things I've talked about and more. You know, obviously I didn't mention every single day or every single product because not everything I felt was relevant to me or something I knew about or necessarily wanted to know about, but I welcome your recommendations and ideas in the comments section. And thank you guys so much for watching and for requesting this. I brought it up on Instagram a few days ago and you're like, yes, please. So thank you for your interest. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.